What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Enoch Neo or Enaken. In this video, we are going to take a look about web development. This is part 1. We are going to cover basics for HTML. So let's start. HTML is a hypertext markup language. This is a language for structuring a web page using a markup. So HTML, when we want to build a website, we need combinations of related web pages, so that to structure that page we need a HTML. HTML elements are the building blocks of HTML pages. So as I said, so an HTML element are represented by tags. Such as tables, paragraphs, heading, and so on. We take a look at it in practical part. So let's talk about some tags that are the main tags that are main tags of HTML. So this doc type HTML tag represent the declarations of HTML5 we are going to use. And HTML is a root element of the web page. HTML head. This head element contains metadata information. Metadata contains metadata information such as device display, styling, and so on. The title specifies the title of the document. It's understandable. So when we say the body tag, this element makes visible page, the content you write inside the body tag become visible on the web page. HTML tags comes in pairs. As you can see, we have starting tag and ending tag, or we can say open tag and closing tag. We open it like this. As you see, we said h1 by using less than tag inside and greater than. When we want to close, we use greater than, less than, forward slash, and element, then close by using greater than. So quickly, let's say this. This is a HTML page structure. So as I said, it starts from HTML, and then you have head tag. This head tag, as I said, contains metadata, so that we want the title to be displayed at above of the document. So it comes here, and you can link a CSS and any metadata you want. So the body element, this is the it's like a container for the contents you want to be displayed on in our web page. So another element we will write, such as h1, p for paragraph, and so on. We put them inside the body tag. Let's talk about attributes. An attribute provide additional information about HTML elements. So all HTML elements can have attributes. So as I said, attribute helps element to do another additional things, so such as styling, having values, and so on. So each attribute represented by attribute name and attribute value. That's enough for theory. So we can talk about practical part. So we are going to use Visual Studio Code, this one, and here we are going to create new folder. Let's call it HTML course. Okay, we're going to use that folder, HTML course. Open a lot. So let me close this one. Need this. Need this. Okay, let's use this. So we are going to file, let us open new folder. So sorry it's late because I had a lot of files. So let's use our folder, which is HTML course. Here. Okay, all right. I want to close all of this. Okay, all right. It's opened. So this one we're going to create file here. Let's call it index.html. So because we are styling HTML document, simply in Visual Studio Code you write doc and then press enter. So this is the main element as I explained them in structure of page. So right here write HTML course from init. So that is what we have. So we started by body element and all of this I explained them. So without rate, let's start by HTML paragraph. They comment them. So to make paragraph, simply use HTML. Can write like this and then write something. Let me use this one. So it now comes, but when you save the file as HTML extension in Visual Studio Code, simply type the element and press enter or tab, so you can see. Let me also write role role 5. So you can copy them and multiply, no problem. So let me put it aside like this. So let me put this one aside and open our file. Index back here. This is an HTML paragraph, so let's also deal with HTML heading. This one, don't want this. Okay, so you can see that is a paragraph we have made. So HTML headings, we use H element by the number, so starting from H1 up to H6. Each one have its own font size, so that comes in a different size. For example, we can write here, this is heading, this is a header one. Okay, and we can say H2. So let's copy this. This is a H2 header 2. You can say H4. No, H3. This is H3. H4. This is H4. H5. This is H5. H6. This is also H6. So when we compare this, you can see this is a H1. If we open the inspect element, you can see here in our style. So let me increase it. You see it have the font size of 2am, but when we say H2 come with 1.5, 3 come with 1.17, etc. As you can see, the font size changes according to the header you are working within. So let's continue with that is enough for heading. So let's continue with HTML list. So HTML list. Oh, I can increase it. So HTML lists we use divided into ordered list and unordered list. I think it's understandable like this. So with ordered list we use OLG. With in unordered list we use UL. So inside here we use another element which is called L for lists. So I can say list items. Let me say list item. List item 1. So by using a copy, can multiply this list item 2, list items 3. So but this takes a lot of time, so easily you write element times the number we want and then say list item and use $sign, press enter. It comes with as we wish. So let me refresh again. You can see we have a list item which is ordered from 1, 2, 3 and so on, and in unordered you can see we have a dot by using dot and so on. So I think it's enough for lists. So we are going to take a look about HTML formatting element. So what we mean by when we say formatting element, this is designed to display special types of text. For example, here we can make bold, we can make italic. So let's use paragraph. Let me say this is and then say B, using B, this stand for bold. This is HTML course. Yes, I can use this one easily. This is okay, bold HTML. Let me use this, and this is a B tag, the specify bold, and you can use code mark elements. So we close it also. Okay, for marking something, this is marking HTML. So what we want is to take to make some action, bold it here and also makes marks. So we can use a small tag inside, small, and close it here, small tag. Again we use strong. It's also an HTML element for make word keep looks well. So we can use, again we use here which called dir to specify deleted line or deleted words or sentence. So again we have sup and sub. So here we use sup. Sup takes things and makes subscript text, and sub makes subscript text. Okay, here this is a sub, and here we have sub element. So I can say small, can say strong, so should be understandable quickly. This is delete sub and sub. So let's add this one here like this. So we refresh them, so you can see how it looks. So we have bordered HTML course here. We have Mac, we have a small, what's problem? Okay, let's remove this one. We have a small, we have a strong, we have a strong, we have delete, sub, and sub. So okay, as you can see, delete with line, sub with those things is, so it's become very looks good, and you can take each format you want. So let's quickly take looks about attributes. Attribute. Attribute. As we talked in theory part, we said makes additional for element. For example, let's use HTML image. So to make HTML image, we use EMG tag, this one. So the way, because I want to talk about attribute, we have EMG element, but we need this one, SRC and LT element attributes. This attribute SRC specify files, specifies file name source. So we can use it to take the source of something, or not a reason to comment it. So here we are going to add an image. Don't know if I can find some image. Okay, let me go here. I think I can find some images. Okay, let me use this icon. I think can I find them? Okay, let's take this computer. This computer should be helpful. Okay, copy them and paste it in our source file. Okay, this folder, source folder. We are going to use this image which is called a icons 3. So again, we're back here. So we have this SRC. So do it like this. So we write the name of image because we specify the file path, and it is in our photo. So this art you write when I can say this is icon. This word when image doesn't exist, display the word you write. So you can see we have image here, which is a personal computer, laptop. So after this attribute, I want to talk another attribute, which are width and and height. So I can comment them here as you see. So let me show you this one. If this image doesn't exist, it displays the word we have said here. So, width, so here we can add width attribute and say, let's say 500 for image. You see it's increase the size, the width, or I can put 8. You see it's become very big one. So let's keep use this one. So I can talk height, so also has, let me use it. You see the height increasing its height. That is how we can explain height and width. Another attribute I want to say it's health attribute. Let me explain it. Specify link address. Sorry, specifies a link address. So we are going to create a link. So you can see sometime when you are from one page, for example, you're going to log in, see login link on your login button on home page. So while you click it, takes you to another page. We are going to use, when you want to create a link, we use A with this health attribute. So I can say, let's create a new file here. Let's delete test.html. Inside tests, let's write sample things here. Can use h4. This is testing. This is testing. It's enough. Back here. So here what we do, we write the name of the file we want to link to go, and here we write what we want. I can say go to test. So again you can refresh here. Put it aside. Okay, this one, as you can see, it shows path name. So when you say click, it come on a test file, or inside the test file you can also make another here, a link. It can say index.html, and you can say back to main page. So I'll refresh this one. You have back to main page. When you click, it's boom, it's back to our page. When we click again, it goes there. When we back again. So even when you want to add external styling, you can use also this link, and then with health attributes. This is what I want to specify. This is for link address. Let's back again to our attributes. Another attribute is a style attribute. Style attribute. Let me do all of them. Style, name, values, value, action. So we will take a look about action later on when we start the form. Let's talk this and ID and class that are mainly used the attribute ID and class. So quickly let's take that paragraph here. We use style attribute. This is for styling. So here sometimes we use it in our inline CSS. When you want to style only one element, use this style attribute. So I can say color play background color. Let me say, I don't know if I mistake this one, and let me write using style attribute. Okay, so you can see it comes with gray with background. You can also make some padding like padding. I can say, let me increase it inside here. I can say padding 50 pixels, and you see it's boom, it's padding top, left, bottom and right. So we will take look deeply about this attribute while we were running CSS. So here another attribute I specified, it's a name attribute. So I can say, for example, h2, then say name header. This is a name, or we can use an ID, say ID equal h2, no problem. And you can specify class, say class, let's say header 1. So all of those used, I can explain a little bit about them. The ID, so let me put it here. So ID defines a unique identifier which must be unique in all documents. So it's understanding its purpose is to identify the element when linking. So want to use it, for example, want to deal with JavaScript and another things, we can call this ID in that things. So within class, a space separated the list of the classes of the element. Classes allows CSS and JavaScript to select and access specific elements via this document. Get element by class name. So what we want to say, the class, the reasons why most of time we use this one, so we can use it for JavaScript, CSS to select access, to allow access to specific elements. So that is how we can use all of them. Let's quickly talk about HTML table. What do you mean by table? Table is nothing but the combination of rows and columns. So that we are going to start by element inside the elements. Also, we use table elements. This one we've open and close tab. So inside the table element, we use another code th, which stands for table header, and we have another one to say, which is table data. This is for sales table data, and we have another which is table rows. This one represents a row of cells in the table. So we are going to talk about those 4 elements from the table. First of all, we are going to use table row because we want to build a row. Inside this table row, we are going to say th. For example, I can say id th name th country. Okay, and we want also to do for t table data, so we can say 1 td. Also we say mark, and here td say Rwanda. This is for table row, table data. Both is for table row, and so let's say 2. This is number 2. Let's call this one Eric, and Congo. No. Let's use DRC. The Shadrach from USA. Okay, this is how it looks like. ID, name, and so on. So I think it's good if we comment above picture. Let me comment that image, and above stuff, we don't need them. I will comment them later. They want the content to be looks like good. Okay, that is it. So that should be looks well. Inside table element here, then also put it here slows, so you can see it. Inside the table, we have another attribute to use to, which is called border, and put a size you want. You can use 3. You see it comes as a table. We can also use width as we state. So you can say width You can give it width like this, height, and another things. So height and everything you want about size, you can do it. Another things I'm going to state is table call spans and row spans. Table call span and row span. Table row span and call span. So for example, you want to add two names here, and you want people to separate name, but the title keep being one. So again, let's use this one. So we come here, we have a th, so inside the name here we add also another name with th. Let's call Mark Leo. Remove this L. Let me say, and we have to copy this also. We have to copy this also. What you want to use is a corresponds meridians. Let me call Eric. Justin Shadrach Neo Nzima, and inside here we write corresponds, this one, and put the number that we want it to be corresponds. You'll see here this above. So here we are going to use break element, which is beer. This is called unpaired tag. Those are some tags that doesn't being closed, called the unpaired tag. So you can see it looks well, and I can also increase the height of this one. So what problem? I write it now. So what's happened? Height of 5D. There's too much. Let me also add 300. Didn't save. Okay, that's enough. I can put here 500 and then refresh it. You can see it's subdivide this first name and another name. This is how we use corresponds. So for example, here we are going to use row span. We want to say that the people from Rwanda only, for example, Enoch and Eric are from Rwanda, and you want to use row spans there. How we do it? You come inside here, we have Eric, Enoch, and Eric. Here we have Rwanda and DRC. So simply you come here and say row spans. I'm going to use it too, and you remove this column. So it takes both columns. You can see here Enoch, Neo, Eric, Justin, all of that. that person comes inside this element. So I can say that is enough for table. Let's talk about HTML form. This is a good and very HTML form. This is a very important topic to talk about. So you have to follow everything from scratch. So where we use the form, we use form when we want to import or to insert data or to correct user input. So let's say we use form element, this one, so we don't need this attribute to be specified. So we use this an element called the form. So inside this form you perform everything you want to talk about form. So this element has what we call input. This is input element. So let me remove this type a little bit. This is an paired tag, so it doesn't need to be closed, but inside this input we apply type attribute. So you can see we have a button, checkbox, color, date, time, local, email, files, numbers, range, text, month, etc. So this specify an input type you want to insert inside. So for example, here we have what you call text. So let's say enter names here, and we create input type text. So that is enough. Or you can use beer to break it, and you can say enter password. Also we need input type. Here we write password. So you can specify its name and ID, but at this moment you don't need them. We can say gender. Okay, you can say gender. So here we use input type called radio. So here I write radio. Gender, let me say male, and here say female. That's enough. And say input type radio. So here you specify the name because you want to select one. These radio buttons used to choose one amongst two or more, but you choose only one. So let's write gender here and gender also. You can see here we started building our form. Let's put here title. Let's write h2 fill. Fill the following form to enter. Yes. Okay. can see we have a form with male and female. Also we need a p break tag here, BL. Let's talk about checkbox. So we use BL here, checkbox. So we use also checkbox. So we use input type checkbox. So we use checkbox here. Let me write choose your favorite no, this is not. Choose your language. Languages. This should be understandable. Can break this one. Checkbox, let me say English. Kinyarwanda. Then Swahili. You can pick one of them or all of them if you can speak English, Kinyarwanda and Swahili, but you can check what you can only. See, checkbox, choose your language. So this radio button is working. Checkbox can check English, Kinyarwanda, Swahili or other languages if are available. Let's talk again input type date. So date and time. Input type, then say date. That is enough. You can see it pops up the date, so you can also say input type time. You see it's come with time, or you can use all of them by using input time called date time minus local. See, it's come with date and time together. You can pick this and brings the time, the current time you have in your browser. So another things you can say it's file. Input time, right? Also here, BL. BL. Say input type. Say file. This used for wave, such as you wanted to upload some things from the file. So you also use input type, then file. You see, it's refreshed the file, choose file, takes you to your storage, and you can pick any file you want. For example, I can pick this song. It's picked and read it here. So when you want to make your upload, you use this on the front end side. So another element we can talk about here is let me say submit and reset. Values. So we say this is used for submitting and to reset them. So let me say we use input type submit. So for example, you want to submit your form to a database, so you use this one and you say input type reset. It's reset. So you can also use the value element, no, I mean value attribute. For example, I can say save, and here we can talk about say cancer. I think it's good and very great. We see we have a save because we don't create the backend to go there, and you have the cancer, so you can see this one. And when I click cancer, it removes them, it cancels them. You see everything, so you can check, and when you click, it resets them. So another attribute here, which is mostly used in input type like this, is placeholder. Put it here, placeholder. I can say enter your password like this, and also I can say placeholder enter your names, so you see it's this one. Before, if you don't type anything, it shows placeholder values. So here within form, I can talk about also, let me put it here, text area element. Text area, this one. So sometimes we want to type a message or another things, which is such as comment, etc. So you need HTML text area. So this one, I can start with it, text area. You see, it comes with name, ID, columns and rows. So you can format here. You see, it comes with default size, which is, and you can decrease this one. Can say 3 or 4. You see, it looks good. 3 was good. Okay, like this. You can type your things. You can increase this one to 50, so it looks good. So you can write. So the good about text area, when it comes creates it itself creates this one, this slide. so you can slide them even if it comes so slow. Another element which we are going to talk here, I forgot I should talk it before this, but no problem, is select element. This is also necessary when you want to select something inside multiple things. So you use select. Don't need name and ID at this moment. Select element. Inside select element, use also another element called option. If values and there's no, so I can say select your select language, or select use language, no problem. Select your language. Here is not check up, you have to select only one in here, and also you add an option also. Let's say Kinyarwanda. Here you write them. Let me copy the Kinyarwanda. Another option which is, let's also add English. Okay. Let me write English. This one. This is how you can select something and so on. When you come again here, you see we have a select option here, so you can choose anything. So let me use Biela here. More Biela. After you can say Biela. You see we have it here, select option, so I can select from the language you want. So this is how you can select using select element. So what we are going to talk is about form field set. The field set, sorry, let me say field set. Field set used to group form data. Form data. Let me talk this. So what we are going to do, we are going to use field set element, and inside this we have what you called legend. This one element. So I can say fill this form to become our customer. So inside here, no need of creating another form. Let me copy all of this. So we used it, so no problem. So you paste it inside field set and save it and refresh your browser. You can see it contains, this is a field set legend, and it groups all our elements. So you can see at above this is only form, but here it's groups all of them inside field set. You can see when I increase them and so on. So that is enough for today. So I will see you in the next part. We'll take a look more about HTML 5 elements. So we deal with we'll talk about the semantic elements, and we start course for we'll start talking about CSS. So I think this will be helpful. I will see you in the next part.